Quick slip first, over 2.5 at the Emirates, over 44.5 at MetLife. Eagles minus 3.5 at plus 102. Saquon Barkley under 90.5 rushing yards. And yes, we're rolling in hot after going 3-0 yesterday, plus 3 units. Michigan's run game packed a suitcase and a stopwatch. Oklahoma's defense turned Norman into a Sakorama. Mockabee never found the paint, at least as a running back. And Old Trafford gave us the 2-1 push we knew to be possible. Bankrolls doing wind sprints, on to work.
Arsenal and Manchester City, over 2.5. The room keeps whispering, cagey title rivals, but the numbers are louder. City's chance creation remains elite even on off days, and Arsenal's added a not-so-subtle set-piece emphasis that creates a second scoring channel when open play bogs down. Our overlooked stat: set pieces are the taxman of football. They collect even when the economy is slow. Arsenal have been squeezing value from dead balls, and City's defensive restarts have been more generous than their reputation. Add the transition risk on both sides, and 2.5 is a low bar for a fixture with this many shot creators. We're not betting on chaos, we're betting on process finally cashing. Kansas City at the New York Giants, over 44.5. The headline says 2-0 and 2 teams. The subhead says, don't overreact, and we agree, just not in the way you think. The Giants are quietly throwing for real volume, and Kansas City is due for finishing regression against a defense that bleeds explosives and red zone touchdowns. Our overlooked stat: opponents have turned Giants' red zone trips into touchdowns at a rate that would make a slot machine blush. That's how methodical drives become 7 instead of 3. Even with Kansas City short a speedster, Andy Reid will scheme yards after the catch and the run game into scoring position. Pair that with New York's verticals, and 44.5 is reachable without requiring perfect defense. Think steady accumulation, not fireworks every series. Rams at Eagles, Philadelphia minus 3.5 at plus 102. This is a trench bet disguised as a spread. The Rams' passing game is legit, but their interior protection is in a bad moment to draw Jalen Carter and friends. One backup guard on the wrong Sunday turns into a dozen disrupted snaps. Pressure up the middle doesn't just cause sacks, it erases entire chapters of a playbook. Our overlooked stat: interior pressure shortens routes and lowers yards per attempt faster than edge heat, and that's where Philly's strength meets LA's vulnerability. On the other side, the Rams' secondary is down a cornerstone, and Dallas Goedert's return gives Hurts a high-probability throw when the outside is muddy. The Eagles' short-yardage sneak keeps drives alive, steals plays, and quietly pads margin. Home field plus the interior mismatch puts us on birds by a clean 4. Player prop: Saquon Barkley under 90.5 rushing yards. We love Saquon. We don't love this number. It's inflated by last year's highlight reels against this opponent and ignores how the Eagles score in 2025. Our overlooked stat: Jalen Hurts has already siphoned off rushing touchdowns with the tush push and designed keepers. Those short yardage conversions remove a handful of Barkley carries and several of his highest value snaps. Through 2 games, his yards per carry sits in the good, not absurd band, which means clearing 90 requires either volume north of 25 carries or explosive plays on a defense that knows job 1 is keeping him between the tackles. Add the likelihood that Philadelphia leverages a banged-up Rams secondary with Brown, Smith, and a healthy Goedert, and the median path drops under the posted yardage. Quick recap of the card: over 2.5 at Arsenal City, over 44.5 at Chiefs Giants, Eagles minus 3.5 at plus 102, Barkley under 90.5 rushing yards. We're fading lazy narratives, leaning into matchup geometry, and riding one overlooked stat per play. The market watches the scoreboard. We bet the math. Let's keep the wind sprints going.